Hey everybody, welcome back to our ThinkScript class. Great to be back with you. Mike Fairborn here, folks, where we do look at ThinkScripts. We look at new updates to the the Thinkorswim platform, not to mention the ThinkScripts that can be updated as well, that material. We're going to take a look into that today. We're going to look at some label updates. In addition to that, we want to talk about ThinkScript trading, which is really going to be a key emphasis throughout this year as well. And that is using the ThinkScripts that we build and new ThinkScripts along the way to help us look at markets and try to find conditions that meet those ThinkScripts. So looking forward very much to that. Welcome to all of you here in the chat. Hello to you, Sam. We've got Rocky, JD, Kelly. We got KB and others. Hello to you, Wiley. Will, great to have you all on board. I'm joined in the chat by a good friend and colleague of mine and a CMT holder. That would be Connie Hill. So folks, any questions, comments you have, throw those in the chat so we can address those for you. Feel free to follow us both on X as well. Connie Hill CS, Mike Fairborn CS, where we do post related content as well. Financial and other content posted there as well. So with that, folks, let's dive into some disclosures so we can get rolling here. All right. Information here is for general information purposes only. Should not be considered an individualized recommendation or personalized investment advice. Paper Money software application is provided for educational purposes only. Please keep that in mind. Backtesting results presented are hypothetical. There's no guarantee that the same strategy implemented today would produce similar results. Now, investing does involve risk, including for some products more than your initial investment. Past performance of any security strategy does not guarantee future results and success. There is a look there at the futures. We do dive into futures from time to time, taking a look at the charts only, not a futures class, although we do have a futures class, and that class is on Tuesday mornings with generally Ben Watson. Although I've sat in with Ben on a couple of those teaching. It's kind of a fun class as well. But all right, everybody, good to be with you. So let's do this. Let's take a step back and let's look at a few updates right on the platform itself. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and move this up. It's going to go up. Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay, I'm actually on the trade tab. Let's move over here to charts. So this is just my quadrant here of a grid, but I wanted to highlight a couple of notes over here. First of all, there is something that I think would be quite useful to us as well when we're looking at the MarketWatch tab, because we've done a number of scripts that you'll find, and many of those over the last couple of years, really. Year and a half. Ken did some before that, did some great stuff. So I would say a couple of years. But the MarketWatch tab has held for us a lot of great information in terms of different ThinkScript columns. Now, there was an update here. Some of you may have seen this. I don't know if you have, but I have run into this issue, and I think it'd be very helpful, particularly given the fact, and let's just get into a NASDAQ 100. Why not? So here's the NASDAQ 100 here. Getting these columns sorted. Have you ever noticed that this can be quite a hassle setting these up? For those of you that hadn't seen that update, which was given out towards the end of last year, not too long ago, really, but it's adjusting these columns. I did have a request on the columns, and this is a request I get actually in the markets and sectors class that I do teach too pretty frequently. But this is one of the classes, one of the classes that we use that have these different columns listed up here with these ThinkScript columns in place. 1 month, 3 months, 6 month, and a 1 year. You can see they're in color. There's more to it than meets the eye as you look at these, but it's a great way to map out different sectors and sector performance. It's taken a little bit to get filled in here. I'm not sure why, but we're a little bit bogged down, I guess. There you go, though. So this could be helpful, but it takes time to set all these up. And by the way, each one of these, you guys, these are just customized formulas. You can come in here, and I'm just going to edit. Sorry, let's just edit that formula. You can see it right here. This is a particular one. I just altered it just so that if it's in green, it's up on the day. If it's in red, it's down on the day or month in this case. Very simple, very straightforward. What I wanted to do, though, is, well, by the way, ThinkScripts aren't guaranteed for timeliness or accuracy. I want to throw that out there to you guys. If you don't have it, let me just throw out one of them here, just so you got it. And this is our 1 month, colored as simplified as it can be. It's green if it's up on the time period. If it's not, If it's red, then it's down, obviously. So straightforward there. These, of course, can be sorted to whatever way we want to look at these. But this is tricky to like load up all of these. I've got to right click over here for each class. I got to go to customize. I've got to add them in. I've got to add in whatever else I want that I want to look at in here. And it takes some time. Have you guys noticed that? And I don't want to go over here and just click on this and detach. I mean, that was like the old, I'll call this the old Mike Fairborn way, where I'd get a lot of tabs, and it's really annoying to see a lot of tabs in the bottom of my screen. And I just have to have all these set up to go through. We don't have to do that anymore. What we can do is if we right click in here and go to customize, you'll see now right here in, let me just get my pointer tool, the symbol description section. Gosh, it is taking some time to come up. Hopefully that speeds up here for us. That little tool took a little while to get up here, but right up here, you'll notice that there is a little bit of an icon, a drop down note here on the symbol description. And if I click on this right here, it is different. As you can see, there are default columns. There's other things listed here. Notice I could delete, I could rename a column. I don't have anything in here right now. But down here, what do we have? Save as. The save as. And if I click save as, it just lists everything that's in these columns. And I can save it. And guess what's going to be here now? You guessed it. Go to customize, go right back to it. It's going to be there. If I click on it again, it's right there. So now I have all of these very, very quickly. And why would this make even more sense to you guys using and gals using ThinkScript? Well, because that's a whole different basket of concepts that we could look at, different setups in the market for whatever conditions the market is showing us. For example, I'm going to clear these out right now. And by the way, what's kind of cool about this is if I go over here now, I'll find it. I can share. Oh, that's sharing. No, that's sharing something else, I think. Hang on a second. No. Okay, I thought I could share this whole thing with you, and then maybe you could put it over here. But anyways, you'd only need to build it once and put it in place. But that is where it's at. Now, let's move into some of the ThinkScripts that we've done previously. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on Customize, and I'm going to take these guys out. Okay, just highlight them. I'm just holding the shift down and arrowing through these. And I'm going to remove all of them right there. All right, and what I want to do next is, yep, description's fine. Some of these others are fine. Percent change, maybe we can just have that up here. No problem. Now, next thing I want to do is, say, for example, we did the TTM squeeze bars, which gives us the number of bars that the company has been in a very tight and unique consolidation range, for example. That would be one we could certainly look at. And if we did that, you know, we wanted to have this as a setup or a scenario, we could have it pulled up over here. It just tells us how long the Bollinger Bands have been below the Keltner channels in terms of days. You can see Dexcom's been there for a while. If I just highlight this, we could see what's been, wow, Constellation Energy's been there for a long time. Shopify, 7 days. Let's take a look at Shopify real quick. Okay. It's been in a consolidation. I actually had looks like an old, position on this, a paper trade in one of the classes we've got on it, but it's been into a sideways consolidation. It's been going extra into a tight range. Let me just show it out here so you can see it real quick. TTM squeeze. I'm going to make some adjustments to it. It's always nice to have the reference on the chart as well. Don't want the histogram necessarily. Don't need this, but I'm just going to keep the squeeze in here. Let's see. No, squeeze. This is it. Sorry. There we go. There we go. So you can see out down here, Bollinger Band within the Keltner channel over that time frame. Sure. Just as a reminder, we're going through this, but that's what that shows. And that's kind of nice to have in here. Now, what else we could have in here? I mean, whatever it is. I mean, if we're going into, let's say, for example, earnings season, earnings beats percent. So this is an update to the earnings that I've done previously, where it's an earnings beat, yes or no. Instead, in this case, it just lets you know yes or no because of the color the color of it, and if it beat or not. Now, we're not really in earnings season for this, so we're not getting anything here, but that gives a beat percent. Okay, I've done some ThinkScript classes on these. You can pull them up as well as the TTM squeeze bars, but I just wanted to go through this first. So let me just do this real quick. If I go to customize now, go to my symbol description, well, it's really very easy, isn't it? All you need to do is go down to save as, and it's done. Now I've got it in here with my squeeze bars, and I'm set. So I can have whatever I want in here. I can have one specific and unique. I'll just throw it out here to momentum trades, to swing trades, whatever columns help me with the swing trade here with whatever ThinkScripts. We got it now very quick. What if it's dividend investing? Sure, I can do that. I can have fundamentals in here as well. Obviously, the dividend yield, price to cash flow is something we have. Share from the study tab. Thank you, Kelly. Let me just do that right now. From the study tab, let's see. Share from the study tab. I can share each of these individually. Where's the study tab itself? Am I just missing it? Study tab. I bet I could share it from here, though, is what you're saying. Oh, maybe it's inside here. 1 second. We'll get it figured out for sure. But wanted to just show you guys this so you have it. And it'd be great to have one here. Oh, wait, is it there? No. The share would be beautiful down here, wouldn't it? That'd be perfect. I can delete it here. I can rename the columns as well. But watch this. I can go back to this complicated one, which is a huge time saver right there. Oh, I hope I didn't save it as? No, we're good. We're good. Okay, so that's what we've got there. But what I could do is just simply go back and forth within each one of these if I wanted to. See that? So huge time saver. Utilize that. I'm going to go back to this though real quick and just share these so you guys can have them. But I think, well, let me do this. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So I'm going to go back in here, go right back to the earnings beats and this, click OK. Once you've done that, you've got it right here. And what I'll do is I'll just, I don't know if you guys, I might have saw something in the chat on this, so I'll just throw this out here. But let me highlight this too. Well, we've got it because there is a lot of data here within this class, and I've got to make sure I'm organizing it correctly. Okay. That's not it. Okay, hold on. 1 second, guys. I'll share it. And this one is going into earnings beats. I always put these in the bottom of the YouTube under the description section as well when we're done. I'll just put this in here. Earnings beats percent. Okay. There you go. All right. Oh, study tabs on the time frame chart. Okay. Good. All right. All right. Well, we'll get into that for sure. Let me look at this real quick. I should have had that, but I've just, it's something I hadn't actually been using, but you can see over here, if I click right here, I can share, but I'm looking to share. These are all of my different, sort of scans, indicators, which is interesting because I'm in the Market Watch tab. It's a little bit different, but yeah, we'll get to that for sure. And I'm going to read through some of those, but just to keep this going, isn't that a great time saver? I thought it was fantastic, and that could be changed just so quickly. By the way, you know what else you could do? Anytime you have those in the trade tab, sound familiar? Over here to the right under Delta Gamma, look what we have now. We just created these. So we can have these under our trade tab. So if you wanted to have it in the Market Watch tab, another great place to find them right there. So you got it right there at your fingertips. All right. So you've got that available to you. You can use anything, any custom column sets that you've got in place, either, on one side or the other. All right, let's do this now. Cool update. Massive time saver. Another excellent time saver here too. diving into labels because, guys, there are so many great labels we have available to us on the Thinkorswim platform. Now, this one over here, just go to a different stock. Doesn't have too much on it. Well, that one does. Anything. There we go. I'm going to pull this guy down, and I'm going to just highlight this right now. For this particular company, Barrick Mining Corporation, if I go over here and I click on my edit studies, I'm going to go ahead and open up the price labels. Now, there were some individuals that helped to build this out. I think it's a fantastic list. What's nice about it is it does have the inputs that we can select, as you can see through here, but it's got like prices that we're going to find as labels up on top. I'm going to show you guys how we can really add in any label we want that's available to us on the Thinkorswim platform. 52-week new high. Basically, we've got everything listed here. You've got PE ratios, yields. We could add in here price. I'm just going to be totally extreme here. Some of you out there would like price to cash flow. Do you want to see that? Well, that's something we could look at as well. Month to date, week to date changes. Let's go ahead and just select it. Click OK, and there you go. So all of this data can be accessed from Thinkorswim, right? So it's being funneled into the platform. It's kind of a mixed bag, and we can organize these a little bit better too. But I do like, not necessarily better, I like the setup here. You've got your changes, your year to date, month to date, week to date changes. That is so helpful. It's really requires a lot to flip the, I've got to go into the wheel. If I wanted to look at the year to date change, I got to have a 1 year chart up. I've got to click on my wheel. I've got to go into my price axis, show as a percentage, click it, click OK. I'll see it over here on this screen. If I wanted to see the monthly, I've got to figure out 30 days back. I wanted to see the weekly, I'd have to figure out 30 days back just to see it where it pops up on the side. But this way, we've got it right here at our fingertips. It's so easy to use. Now, this particular script, I know that Robert and some others had helped piece this together. I think it's a fantastic idea. And I'll show you how we can add others to it as well. But if I click over here, you could see, yeah, and actually Ken had helped to piece some of this together as well. But there you go. Updated earnings beats. Robert hit that for us. And some other little quick notes. Actually, I don't see earnings beats in there. That would be a fantastic one to have, though, as I'm thinking about it. But look at this. It's a massive script. But the best part about it is amongst pulling all that data, you don't have to have everything on there that you don't want. Just go to the wheel over here, and you can change these inputs. Maybe you don't want all this information. Narrow it down, just simply click on no, and it will take that label box off. So let me just share this right now. Again, ThinkScripts aren't guaranteed for timeliness or accuracy, but I want to make sure you guys had that, and we'll put this into the box as well. Oh, 1 second here. Let me, okay, we got that. Here it is. So let's paste this over here. But this is the price labels. It's more than just price labels. It's a lot of labels. So labels. Okay. There's the link for that right there. So you guys have this in place. All right. So thanks to many people up top there. But we've got that here. And what we can do is we look at this. You can see that, yeah, so it's giving us great information. We can take a look at, by the way, we can have these in columns as well, as we were just talking about in the Market Watch tab. So we wanted to look at month to date, week to date, year to date. We've got that data within this script to take a look at. That could be certainly pulled up. Now, I'm going to go into ThinkScript right now and show you some information where this can be found. In fact, if I just pull it up right now, up top here, just going into ThinkScript, I'm going to go down here. I've just typed that in to our search, and there is ThinkScript right there. Now, this is the Learning Center. It's going to take us, let's see, let's go right into the functions, actually. Because within here, we've got a number of different data points that we can use. Let me just pop this in to the chat as well, so you have that available. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in just a second over here, but look at the options we've got that can be used. And so sometimes there are pieces of data that can be pulled, and there certainly are those that can't. But coming in here, you get a sense of what functions are available. Now, when we talk about fundamentals, it's different from stock fundamentals. A quick note. You can see down here, yeah, these are just the basics, price data, basically. A lot of price data. There's option related. There's look and feel, which is interesting, as we can see over here. You've got an add cloud down here. We don't have clouds. I know there's been a lot of discussion on that. Let me show you this. If I click into add cloud in here, right, it does give us some explanations of how that's added in. So the add cloud, parentheses, has got the iData holder, data 1, data 2. So we're looking maybe at a couple of different examples here. If we're looking at, it's probably up and down price movement, as you can see down here. Yeah, it is. It is. And there's an example 1. So let's just go ahead and pull this up right now. A great way to kind of get into this and to see how we can add some other, well, in this case, we're just adding it to the chart, but we can add labels as well. So the data is available here. Let me highlight this. Looking at price data, and I'm going to go down here. Yeah, we'll just pull this up right now to our little dropper icon. We want to go down to create. This is an example. I'm going to highlight over this. This is the ThinkScript editor. I'm going to go Control V, paste that in. Okay, and let's just go through this as well. So this could correspond to some of the labeled data that we might be looking at. Okay, so what this is doing is this is a part of the coding of the cloud. Very straightforward and simple. That link that I provided, you could learn, about this. In fact, what we're saying here is that if you are closing up on the day, yeah, it does cloud that range based upon the size of the candle, the bar data. It represents the size of the cloud itself. It kind of covers it, as you can see up top. Let's go back to that. Just another quick note on it. Highlights the difference between the values of open price and close price. Yes. Okay, so it does. It's representing that range. You get another one down here that is looking at a range over here, over a 10-day range. So this is just great information, folks, to get kind of started with this, to get going, piecing this together in terms of, what we could look at, what's utilized here, what could be utilized on the chart. What else did we have over here? So that is just simply the look and feel. Statistical. Wow. So some interesting data points in here. Anytime you see this, and this is where I wanted to go to, there's been some requests lately. This is new, as updated in the portfolio section. Let's go ahead and click on that. We've had some requests lately about tracking portfolio values, profit and loss over a period of time. I know that request has been in for quite some time, but yeah, just a quick note. So some updates here in the portfolio. You can see over here, yeah, just if you notice the updated, that is where you'd find that at. That's probably for another class. That would be actually a great one for us to build and to piece together. Quick note, if we wanted to pull any fundamental data, there is some data listed over here that can be pulled from the platform. Earnings per share. I do have an earnings per share, and I also have a earnings. Let me show you what that looks like within a script here. So there's the fundamental approach. There's the technical side as well. Let's just take off. Let's add in here. I'm going to take this guy off for now. I do have fundamental labels. Yeah. Okay. This is what we've got. So I've only got a couple in here that you can see right now put in place. So I've got a get earnings, right? And that are tied into the price. So I just pulled up two at the same time. Basically, let's just take a look at it. Okay, I've made these boxes a little bit bigger, but you've got a trailing 12 months of earnings at TTM. Very, very helpful for companies that are, in fact, making money or not. And then you've got a price ratio in here as well. So anytime we can pull earnings, if you think about it, price data itself by pulling prices, that's not too hard to do either. Kind of combining earnings with price data once we have it in place. But we can have a whole set of technical data or fundamental data that's also listed here. Okay, so this could be something we could consider as well. So that data, as I mentioned, that is available to use. All right, so we can tap into that. All right, well, let's see, where should we go? We've got a couple of different things I wanted to look at today. In fact, I wanted to run through actually some of the stocks in terms of ThinkScript. Okay, so Kelly's doing that. That's great. You can get those in. Absolutely. Yeah, in a lot of cases, we're just looking at a lot of, time savers here, right on the platform. The price label is totally helpful. You get those very quickly. Of course, those custom columns are quite nice too. All right, let's do this. I wanted to show you guys some of the ThinkScript some of the ways to use the TTM squeeze within some of the stocks that have showed it recently. In fact, I'm going to show you this, and I'll show you how I pulled this up and found it initially. So TTM squeeze was one of them. There was also a consolidation that we had in terms of a flag pattern. In fact, let me pull that one up too in this column. That'd be a great one to have. So the flag reloaded is simply just the flag. It's already created, kind of started to move a little bit. We've got the flags plus the hold at the end. That's another one we built over a period of time. In fact, I'm just going to stick with that one for now. And we'll kind of highlight this bar over here. I'm going to pull this all the way to the right. So I use these. I think these can be helpful because these can be used sort of in conjunction with each other. You've got a flag plus a hold or a TTM squeeze bar. Sometimes you will get different setups. They kind of find two of the same or separate things. Sometimes you'll get a flag with a hold. It doesn't quite reach the squeeze bars, and sometimes you just get the squeeze bars and it doesn't, get the flag quite yet with the hold. So a couple of these have got it right there. Warner Brothers, Monster Beverage, WBD. Let's pull that up right now. You got the hold. It's going to be hitting it within the last couple of days. Let me just take those clouds off for a second. We all love the clouds, but let's just yank it. Okay. There you go. So here's kind of a flag pullback. Your hold, close above the high of the low bar, which was barely there, just barely, but it was there yesterday. We're getting another hammer right now today. We'll see what happens. But these can be fascinating to look at when you're looking at markets that might be poised or positioned for a continuation to the upside. This is the NDX. Sideways channel breaking out. Is this one in the, yeah, this is in the NDX. We're just looking at the NDX right now. So it's in the NDX. It itself may be poised for a breakout of the upside. That is really a symmetrical triangle, getting very close to the apex. It's going to be tough to hold this range before it breaks out. That's a very, very tight range, but normally it'll break out before that time. And oftentimes it will follow in the direction of the trend. So using something like a flag to hold can be quite helpful here. We really didn't get, this is my point, we really didn't get anything TTM squeeze-wise over here. I would say this, early on we did. In fact, that suggested with that price coiling, that price compression, hey, if we start to break out here, we might. And that was the NASDAQ. Okay, nothing right now on the NASDAQ, even though it's getting into a tighter range. Eventually, it would come up, probably. WBD, let's go back to it right here. So have we seen some flags over here? We have. So the one thing I want to do right now is keep tabs on this for the possibility of a breakout. Or maybe some traders would say, well, hey, Mike, I'm okay buying a little bit here, because we've got a sideways consolidation that could start to move. How did we find that? Right over here. In fact, I'm going to update this. I'll keep the earnings beats on. That's fine. But let me just update this while I've got it in real time. Save as. I'll just go to save as. There we go. So now we've got this in place. Okay. And we're kind of just going back and forth over here. Now, we did get at one point over here on a company. Got to go back a little bit, but just kind of watching it. This too had a hold. The hold pattern that we have set up right now does not, I'll repeat, it doesn't go back this far, like 5 days. Now, we could make it that way. We could change that script to do it, but this one had it. This is a Lulu. Lulu had a big run towards the upper part of the highs. It didn't close above it. It traded above it, but it pulled back down. Now, this also fits into a pullback, rounded bottom, flag pattern. And if you get a flag pattern at the end of a cup and handle, you get the flag pattern at the end of a rounded bottom, it's the cup and handle. I gave it away there. It's the cup and handle that you can get. If it stays into a sideways range long enough, I would anticipate that our ThinkScript code over here would start to kick in gear. It would start to show it the way we have it set up with the TTM squeeze in those columns. We'd be able to pick up on it. But this is actually a very, very tight trading range. Now, one of the things that traders would do, maybe with the ThinkScript, the hold actually stayed kind of a little bit longer, but we're in a range now. So it got us this far. So the next thing we can do is just be aware of potential breakouts or breakdowns. Okay, as we watch this. So this could be one to keep an eye on, and we could just kind of watch it for indications here. Now, what I want to do, because it's into a tight range, and it could have, because the price projection on a cup and handle, to be honest with you, some of these, it depends on the length of it, the size, but it can be fairly big. You could have a cup and handle that went from this flag pattern to here, measuring the same price distance here on the follow through. That is what a flag pattern projection looks like. It's right around 300. I'm just eyeballing it, but it's getting very close to that round number over there. That's a fairly big move, right? Now, we'd only really necessarily need one alert if we did that. Where do you think we put that alert at? Where have we not been able to break above? Well, probably right above that range right there. So I'm going to create an alert here, at or above, and I'm just going to say generally higher. Yeah, it is higher, but I put a question mark, will it move higher if it breaks above that range? Because there could in fact be a larger price pattern at stake that really could unfold on a much bigger scale. Okay, so that is tapping into alerts, and I just want to note on alerts, because when we talk about alerts, just as a quick note, they're not guaranteed to be delivered or delivered at any specific speed or time frame, and should not be used as a replacement for actively being aware of your positions. Okay, so having said that, yeah, I wanted to note that. Quick note too on the alerts. Always make sure if you put an alert on, you look down here and you've got set up already. Otherwise, you just will not get that text alert down below that notify with. Okay, I got to scroll down now. Okay, you've got to have this send push notifications to your mobile device so you can be aware of that. Up top under setup, this is where you'd find that initially. So setup, application settings, notifications, folks, right there. Right down below, you're going to see, well, I'll put it right in here. I watch it. So, I don't have my text, my phone number listed right here or my email address, but this is where you'd put it in. You have to send it. You got to add the number. It's got to test it out. But that's got to be in place first before you do it. I get new folks coming in, so I have to mention that. Okay, otherwise, there is not going to be an alert that they'll ever receive if they don't know where to find it. Okay, but there you go. By the way, has Lulu been down for a little bit? Just a little while. That's up in the 500s. We're down to the 200s. Will it turn right now? Boy, you can almost see that on a weekly chart. Can you say, oh, you can see it. Am I the only one saying this? Look over here. That's what I was trying to draw on a daily. I think the weekly is a lot better. There we go. Now will it unfold? You know, nothing's 100% in the markets, right? Nothing is 100%, but that could be a cup and handle, like a classic sort of a cup and handle. By the way, the other retracement is off the highs and the lows and just doing kind of a measured move off that range. And so we'd be looking at this range, which is going to be a smaller projection, maybe towards the 260 and change area, not the full price, not the full flag pattern, right, that we were looking at up here. I draw that right? Maybe that was too high. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, roughly. And then you get the breakout. Yeah, maybe it's more like this. I don't think it's quite 300. I'm just giving you guys a general idea, a general range of what to look at there. Okay. We've got an alert set on there using what was the bull flag with the hold associated with it. Now I'm going to pull this guy back down. Let's go over here because I want to highlight something else here too. Because a lot of these codes, well, all these codes that we've done, they are listed over here within the Trader Talks site, right? Yeah, as you can see over here, Trader Talks. And so encourage you guys to subscribe to Trader Talks. If you're not already, I'll post it in. I think many of you actually are, but I'll put it in just in case. There it is into the chat. If you like today's presentation as well, smash that like button. It lets me know that you guys are finding this kind of information valuable for your trading, you know, something of use. All right. Quick note here. Anytime you wanted to do this, watch this. If I click over here and I just type in like flag, it's going to take me into a playlist, but you get to see, oh boy, I'm not the only one talking about flags. There is a bull flag with the TTM squeeze. For example, that was done last year, but you guys got that. You know, this is the flag plus the Cahold. That's what I was really looking for right there. So that was done actually in November. That's one of our more recent codes that we've got. You can find that just right under here under the building flag pattern. It might just be easier too, just to highlight this, just to show you guys. If you want to go through and pull some of those out, you could do it right here. Let me just do this real quick. ThinkScript, there it is. There is the full playlist. Oh, I didn't click on it. 1 second.
It could be a difficult way to.
Oh, okay. It's at the bottom. Right there. Okay. Now I should get the full playlist. All right. And you can find those down below. I just don't want to leave you guys high and dry so that you all know where to find them. There it is right there. If you wanted to click on it, that is the full list right there. But for these codes that you have in here, okay, edit this formula so you have it as well. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to share this guy right here. We'll share this one just so you have it. But that is the bull flag with the Cahold associated with it. Now, all right. So we've got that. Now, I wanted to go back to that Cahold. In fact, I wanted to look at WBD right now. Warner Brothers. We've got Monster in there as well. That's from a weekly chart. By the way, that could be a massive cup and handle if you could see it on a weekly. If it were to flag over here, and we are flagging. In fact, that might be the longest sideways channel for a while. That would be massive if it goes all the way up. I mean, we don't know if that would be the case, but I mean, that would be if it had a full price projection. Let me just show you guys what this would look like. Take the range off the top down below. That's kind of a bigger range. And then you add this to I'm just eyeballing it here, but maybe around 55-ish, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, right in that range. Here would be the setup. Of course, we could put another alert in here as well. I'm going to give you just kind of a sort of a strategy that we could use on this as an example strategy that somebody might be looking at since we got the Cahold in here. Of course, you can always put an alert in up top as well. But one thing we could do if we wanted to is just potentially start a position. It's not like a really expensive stock relative to other stocks out there. Obviously, you know, everything's relative, but to your situation, but it's $28 versus many of them that are in the hundreds. But if we were looking for even a general price follow through from like a flag over here, okay, what we could do is just maybe start the position here. If somebody says, hey, I'm willing to put 50% in to start it, 50%, and if it breaks may be above this high over here, we can add in the other 50%. Very, very basic sort of trade or trend management in this case. So let me show you how that would work right now. I'm going to actually put a potential exit level. We can look at it down here as well as a potential exit. In fact, what we could do, I'm actually just going to set an alert here as we do this, okay? But let's do this. Where are you? There you are. Read an alert. At or below. That's all I'm looking for. I'm just saying lower. Yeah. And I'll just say exit. So it texts me, right? So I'm looking to get that text. I read that disclosure on the alerts again, but there you have it. That's going to be my notifier here. Again, bull flag to hold, just so you guys know where we're at in the chat. Yep, I'm reading that. Perfect. What I want to do right now is show you guys an entry here. We'll do that, starting off with 100 shares. And we'll go ahead and just right click. We're going to go down into buy custom with an OCO bracket. And I'm going to put it just below. Well, actually, forget that. We're just going to go like this for now. We'll use the alert instead, okay? By the way, stop orders don't guarantee an exit at that price, but I'm going to try it with an alert. Of course, you guys could always put the stop. But here's the first part of the entry right there. We got it in before the close. 100 here. By the way, could another alert be used up top here to add to it? Sure. Sure. If we're going to break out, in this case, if you guys were to look at some of my examples, I've got these all over the place because they are notifiers for breakouts for what? Potentially a bull flag. Okay. That could unfold in our favor. So there could be, what I'm getting at is there could be some upside potential on these based upon, the flag pattern setups or cup and handles that we were looking at. Quick note on the stop orders, folks. There is no guarantee that execution of a stop order will be at or near the stop price. Okay, more on trading, though, into next week's class as we go through it. But I want to take a quick peek at, what was the other one that had it? MSTR, I think. Monster? No, that wasn't it, I don't think. It had to be above the range. Anyways, yeah. Take a look. Utilize this information, folks. Today, though, we did talk about labels, putting labels on the chart. I will have, this general fundamental label in the description section as well as those other labels, great time savers. Again, we talked about how to utilize the customize box, right? Making sure that we have these set up very quickly here for us. So on that note, everybody, wanted to share those labels and show you how we could add additional labels on whenever we really wanted to. Show you where to find that on the Thinkorswim site as well. But on that note, everybody have a great rest of the day, and we will look forward to future discussions going forward. Let me know if you have any questions just in the comment section or YouTube as well. Take care, everybody. See you.